ready to flow. Bruddc and Kitty got a show to glow. Life stories wild like a late night dream. We're spilling the tea and it's hot like steam. Bruddc and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day.
What is up, good people? You're watching the Bruddc and Kitty Show. Kitty, it is Friday. I think this is 5 in a row that we've done.
This is 2 weeks in a row. We're doing on a roll.
We're rolling. Consistency. Consistency is key in everything. Fortunately. I won't say unfortunately. How's your day been anyway?
It's busy. It's always busy. You think, do you know, the best part about it is you make a plan in your head and you go, right, this is it. And then something goes bang and it's just all out.
Yeah.
So I do apologize, but I am the reason that we are late today. It was a KFC run, an emergency KFC.
Wow. We've had an interesting week, haven't we? It's been a bit mental, really. It's been a bit confusing. Everyone's really confused with these prison releases, all sex offenders, all people of color, all sex offenders, all people of color. Some conspiracy theorists out there are saying, what are they up to? We've been saying that as well. Have they done this on purpose? Surely no one's that stupid. I mean, the Bruddc case alone, how does that, I don't care about any system. No one can convince me. I don't care about any systems, computerized systems. The person that signed that fella out must have surely scratched his head and said, wait a minute, ain't you the fella from the news?
Yeah.
Surely.
Aren't you the bloke that caused all the trouble in Epping?
Yeah.
You are, aren't you? Should we give you a new tracksuit before you leave?
Indeed.
It's ridiculous. And also, David Lammy, I was watching his thing on the House of Parliament where he was questioned 3 times, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he kept saying, I've put into place, since that happened, I have put stricter rules into place.
Mm-hmm.
Into place. And he kept, every time he avoided the question, all he kept saying was, I have put into place stricter. And you think, and you're thinking to yourself, because we now know, well, they weren't that strict then, were they? Because this happened after the Bruddc thing. So those things that you changed weren't working either. Because you didn't do one, you did 2. Okay, the first one was a fraudster and maybe not as dangerous, but the second one was a danger. I'm in agreement. I think we're on the brink of something here. I think something's about to happen really, really big, and we should brace ourselves, because this is, like you say, sleight of hand politics. Look at this hand. We're releasing prisoners that we shouldn't be releasing, and while they're doing that, something's going off underneath. I say be very careful. Keep your eyes.
Yeah, clear distraction tactics. I feel like there has been a lot of other influencers that are saying exactly the same thing, because there's common sense. Sometimes it's just common sense. You just have to look at it for what it is, and a lot of people are pushing that out there. They are trying to divide and conquer. So some people are awake to it. There's people still getting angry, still getting rage baited, selective rage baited, and we'll move on to that. We'll move on to the selective rage baited. Actually, part of our title, actually, and I'll say allegedly, as always. Oh, where's my thing gone, for Pete's sake? Oh, it's not even up here. Never mind. A 17-year-old young man, allegedly, arrested and bailed for committing heinous attacks on children in a nursery. He was charged and he was bailed. And what the internet is wondering is why there's no outrage. If this was a person of color, a Muslim, the outrage would have been all over Tommy's feed. It kind of reminds me of that rally that they done in London, not the one we went to, where they invited a victim of sexual assault to come up and speak. And the moment she said it wasn't an immigrant that done it to her, they literally yanked the mic out of her hand and booted her off. So that kind of tells me selective outrage, and to do that, to rip the mic out of a woman's face, out of her woman's hand when she's talking about what happened to her, is disgusting. Just because you don't like the outcome, it doesn't fit your narrative.
I think, like you say, there's rage baiting and there's an agenda. But as what I what they call a passable white person. Can I just say I'm disgusted? I'm disgusted. I am absolutely repulsed that there is a human being, well, a monster that's been let out on the streets. I don't care what colour his skin is, he's a monster. Nobody should be touching children. Nobody should be attacking children. Nobody should be essaying children. Children should be safe. Children should be allowed to be children. And we shouldn't be, it shouldn't be selective what we throw out onto the internet. It shouldn't be selective outrage. It should be complete outrage that there are monsters on the street and we have allowed them out on the street. That bailing that monster is disgusting.
Yeah. And I mean, because people are like, because I know for a fact, and you know for a fact, if this was a migrant that had done this to kids in a nursery, things would have been on fire. You know, there would have been more riots. Like, you know, does that just say though? I mean, I'm trying to just draw a conclusion from this. If is that for me, it's quite clear. Like, you know, selective outrage. But does that not just point the flashlight at the people that are being outraged only by brown skin and faiths that they don't necessarily like? I mean, what does it say about these people?
I used to think it was ignorance and I used to think it was stupidity, right, that did it. I remember my ex saying to me many, many years ago, you can't argue with stupid. You know, like when I was arguing with racists and he went, they're
Yep.
just stupid. You can't argue with stupid. And I used to think it was that, but I don't. I think it is generally they just want to stir. They just want to really, really stir the pot and literally throw it out there. Can I just bear with me? I do apologise. I know it's live TV, but we've got a problem. Mia's stimming.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
Okay.
No problem whatsoever. Live TV, guys. Make sure you guys weigh in the comment section. There is a calling option as well, guys. Just to remind everyone, today's headlines: the Muslim hero of the train attack. Um, not much praise for him on some of the platforms, especially some of the far right platforms. No one's there waving this guy on, saying, "Oh my God, this guy's amazing." You know, he put his life on the line to help all these people on the train. He saved God knows how many lives. You know, we're just talking about the Muslim hero guy on the train.
Yeah.
Just to sort of, you know,
No, like I said to you yesterday, I didn't even know he was on the train.
that's so bad. That is so bad, isn't it?
You
That
told
is
me
so.
that.
That is so bad. Let's just get his name. Let's just get his name up again. His name is oh good God. His name is, let's get it up again. Just to get it. It's Samir. His name let's, before it cuts out. Don't cut out. Stop. Right. His name is Samir Zitouni. Zitouni.
Well done to the man. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Thank you very much. Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for helping to save who you did. Thank you for being a hero. Like I say, to me, I don't care what colour you are. I don't care what religious book you read. You're just a human being to me. And as I pointed out, not everybody thinks like me. And this is showing, you know, especially in places like America. And I know that we're not America, but, you know, like, when they always bring it out, you know, like when a black guy shoots somebody on the street, it's disgusting. But yet when a white lad goes into school and starts shooting people up, it's mental health. You know, and I understand how the divide can happen when things like that are happening. And especially when the subject we've just been talking about, where this guy has been released, a 17-year-old white guy has been released onto the street, and the man's a monster.
Mm.
And then yet I'm not hearing about heroes because they're Muslim. It's so, when you hear it, it's so sort of eye-opening. Like, what? It's just crazy. Just crazy.
Paul from Newcastle. Shout out to you, sir.
How do you feel as a person of colour, knowing that if you did something, not that you would do it for the praise, but you did something so heroic like that, you wouldn't get the recognition? Nobody would know. I mean, I know you wouldn't do it for that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this happens in, obviously not these, this is a really dramatic case we're talking about, but most people that work and that have had to put the graft in and do work on real jobs and real places, there's things that you've done and things that you've made a massive difference that you never get notoriety, like you never get the praise for it, like that's just a common thing from the working man, really, like
Yeah,
you do loads of stuff and you don't get no notoriety from it. That I think that for, in this particular case with this fella, I feel like that his reward is internal, sort of. People from outside will give him praise, but that's something that makes you can, even if the worst should happen and he should fall and go to his rest. I feel like there's some things in life that are worth dying for, almost, like, and some people say, hell no, I'm not dying for no one, I'm getting out there. But this guy made the decision, this Muslim man, I'll say again, made the decision to put his life on the line to save all these people on the train, people that look like you, people that look like me, all different types of people enjoying their day. And yeah, I mean, some of the parties out there, they're not interested in this fella. Like, I would have thought you would try and stay impartial. But what was quickly I wanted to say as well, we were talking about rage baiting, we were talking about people getting, like, people whipping up hate and stuff. I was looking through some comments and some of the typical videos the other day, and I saw this guy had put he put in the comments, it looked like a cry for help. He put something along the lines of, I'm getting so all this stuff has made me so extreme in my views and stuff like that. And I messaged him. I wanted to actually try and speak to him and try find out. And this is what I'm saying. There's people out here generally getting radicalized. Like, there are people with nothing out there. So if you've got nothing and you're addicted to this kind of content, you follow it all, this is the kind of thing that will drive you over the edge. Like, but
yeah,
I
but
feel like
the people out there are pointing you to express your rage towards them. Like you said, the Muslim community, the right are pushing you that way, the left are pushing you that way, and you're sitting there, and if you're having you're really really low and you're really really down. I mean, we were talking about this, especially with the male toxicity and the situation with men at the moment. It's you want to express that rage, and it's being manipulated. It's being manipulated left or right, when the reality is you need to stop, you need to look at what's happening and stop listening to the likes of TR and the likes of the left, and start making decisions for yourself. Have common sense.
this is the problem. Not many people have common sense. This is a real problem. Like,
Yeah,
I hear people call radio stations all day long, like James O'Brien. Like, he's the man that there's a video that we're gonna have to do it. Well, maybe we'll do it on Monday. There's a video where he actually just destroys this guy, but the guy still, even though he's been publicly embarrassed by millions of people, he still left that phone call with the same beliefs. Like, ignorance is bliss. Like, these people, like, they're not able to just, like, rationalize, unfortunately.
they're not able to admit that they're wrong as well. A lot of the things that we were talking about mental health yesterday, a lot of the things that I've learned with dealing with mental health is sometimes you have to look within yourself and say, I was wrong there. There was something wrong, or I was flawed in that situation. And there are a lot of people out there that just don't want to do that. No, I'm not wrong. It's all Muslims' fault. It's all Muslim people's fault. And I keep going to the right. I do apologise for everybody, because I'm not left or whatever. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of people need to sort of go, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
Common
looking.
ground. Find common ground. That's the key thing, man.
Yeah,
It's so embarrassing.
it's scary in today's society that people have to put their hate somewhere, and they're so scared of being wrong that they won't back down on it, instead of going, well, actually maybe that's a bit extreme, or that's a bit extreme, I just want to be in the middle here. They're too afraid to go, I'm wrong. And the thing is, extreme right is wrong and extreme left is wrong. We need to be in the middle with that common ground, using our common sense, with our eyes open, and start asking questions as well. When Tommy was going on about the grooming gangs and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 where was the questions? Are they all? Is every grooming gang in the UK? No. No, it's not. We know of cases up in Glasgow. We know of cases where there was children's homes here in Nottingham where they were all groomed and so on, and that was the white community. We know it's not, but people would rather be ignorant to what's going off in the world and the bigger
fucking
picture,
questions on the gangs, or step
to
down, you
hate
fucking
on
parasite.
one, fixate on
Answer
that
the
one
fucking questions on the.
subject.
Yeah, that was Steve Khan. I had to throw that in there.
But it's all his fault anyway.
Yeah, that was Steve Khan. I had to throw it in there. Answer the questions on the gangs.
It was his fault in Glasgow. It was his fault in Manchester, Liverpool, everything. I mean, I would imagine that, Hillsborough was his fault as well.
Yeah. Someone's just put hate is like putting hate is like putting your heart on a plate. Okay. Yeah. I saw I don't know if you've seen these videos of these young kids, like, and there's one famous one where this kid is in a car, he's a Millwall fan, and he's going Millwall, like you can just see the sort of like you can see the dad vibe in him, like, and then he says something very racist afterwards, like, but it's a young kid that's doing it.
And then that tells every Millwall supporter. We had a lovely Millwall supporter.
Yeah, we did. I was going to say that, actually. We did have a good Millwall fan over.
We had this absolutely great guy on the other day, and he was like, you've changed. And he actually said, you've changed my opinion a little bit. And that's what we want. This is what we want. We want people to start talking as well. Don't be afraid to talk to your Muslim neighbours or the Muslims down the street. Maybe go and ask them, do you want a drink? If they're doing something, do you want a drink? Do you want to do this? If we start opening our community and tolerate them, and they start tolerating us, and I will say this, it's one of my biggest things. They've got to accept that the West dress the way that they dress, and the West act the way they act. You've moved to the West, accept it, tolerate it. It's simple.
Just bear me 2 seconds. Live call, guys. Live call. Yeah, V. All right, cool. Sorry, my brother's down from London. Let's just send him a postcode really quickly. RG23. Oh, I shouldn't tell everyone the postcode, should I? Yes, indeed, Kitty. And also as well, another XL bully killing. I'm not going to put any details out because obviously this is a very sensitive case, but what we do know, a child under 1, or a baby basically, under 1, has been savagely attacked and killed by an XL bully. It's another one. Like, how many of these cases are we going to see? They have banned the breeding of XL bullies, so you can't breed them now. But there seems to be
She's beautiful, Xena. She's absolutely beautiful. She's this big lump of a dog, and she's a big softie. But I think I walk into my next door neighbour's house and she doesn't even blink, But then I feed her. But I think I do believe with these situations, the XL bully, it's not about the dog, the type of dog. It's the type of owner.
I think so as well. But with the XL bully, what I'll say this about them, and it's obviously it's guilty by their tools and stuff. If that dog, like, with any dog, even my dog, like, my brother's come around with a baby, and I'm going to be very wary of my dog. Like, I know my dog's safe, but with the XL bullies, I just feel when they do snap, it can be deadly. Like, they can kill you. And sometimes you see these little boys walking around with these massive killing dogs, like, and if they haven't, like you said, it's a bit about the owner as well. But, there's been so many cases of, like, people say that dog, like, that man that went on holiday and left his mum with a dog, and the mum used to feed the dog. They said it was the best dog ever. They had pictures of it with kids and all the rest of it. And that dog ended up killing the mum. Like, so sometimes it's not just the owners. Some people are just saying that generally that dog, when it snaps, people die, unfortunately.
It's a killing machine. So if you've got that dog, you've got to take accountability for that dog, haven't you? Yeah. You've got to say, I can't leave that baby. I've got a Shar-Pei. I've told you, they're Chinese fighting dogs.
Yeah.
Right? When they play, they go straight for the throat. That's because they've got rolls around their throat, and they go. So if my dog goes to play with another dog, it looks like it's going for its throat, but it's not. The thing is, when we take our dog out, we have to muzzle her now. If children are coming towards her, she looks like a big teddy bear. They go, ah, my son who walks her, who's 6'5", 18 stone, he will pull her away and say, no, don't pat her, because she's a snapper. I know she's got a muzzle on, but let's not encourage it.
Yeah.
That's taking accountability for knowing what my dog can do.
Yeah.
And knowing that dog is a danger. The Chinese fighting dogs, like you say, XL bullies are killing machines. We know they are killing machines.
I think what people need to realize as well, they were bred for a certain type of. They were bred. I think is it a pit bull and some. I think it's a pit bull and a mastiff that makes an XL bully. I could be totally wrong, but it's something along the lines of that. And we all know the history of the pit bull. That is a fighting dog. Like I've done videos on this before. The whole nature versus nurture thing as well. Like I don't know, but it seems every time you hear about a baby being killed by an XL bully, you just think to yourself, is it worth it? Is it really worth it?
No, I don't think it's worth it. As much as I love Xena next door, I mean, she can take me off my feet. Sometimes when she bangs me and I go flying the other way. She's a big girl, and she will literally, she's in charge. She's in charge. Like I say, I always take food in when I go in and slip her some food while I'm running in to get something. I know my limits. If she was, but then I think about it. This is. If they've left a baby and a baby's crying, we don't know what that crying is doing to that dog's ears. We know that they've got very, very sensitive ears, and it could be gnawing and gnawing and gnawing and really sort of getting that. Like you say, that dog shouldn't have been anywhere near that baby. So yes, the owner needs to be arrested, because the accountability is you've got that dog. But also, is the government going to get into trouble? Because there was all these tests and things that the owners of the XL bully had to jump through. Obviously, I know because of my neighbour, they had to take them and they had to be tested, sort of thing, to see whether they were actual fighting dogs or they were pets. And obviously, my next door neighbour's, she's a pet. She's classed as a pet. So is these rules and these tests wrong?
Are they sufficient enough? I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people that have got them, and they're just they know their dog's not. They know their dog's not. Like, not going to pass any tests. Like, if you put your hand past it, it's biting it off. I know people like that, and they've got their dog. They love it. I understand it, but they're responsible. They take it out at night, at least. They do the bare minimum. They don't let children around the dog. Like, you take precautions. But some of these owners, you see them on social media. Like, even with any dog, like, they got the baby and they're like putting it right next to the dog. And the worst thing you can do sometimes, like, there's this guy that does reviews and breakdowns. The Rotties are a very popular video. They do it with them all the time. There's videos of little toddlers grabbing a ball and ripping it off the Rottweiler, and they see the dog's going showing its teeth, and they're just like, get the dog off him, get the ball off him. Like, they're stupid.
Did you say that it's Mastiff, isn't it? That's the big
XL. It's Mastiff and Pitbull. I think it's a Mastiff and Pitbull. Let's check. We're on the internet right now. Let's check.
They're a bit like Scooby-Doo, aren't they? Huge things.
Yeah, let's check.
And I've seen those, oh, look, he's left with the baby. Oh, look, he's nuzzling. And I'm thinking, oh, one wrong move, one wrong sound. And you see them with a toddler walking by the side of the toddler, and somebody, they do these tests where somebody walks up to the toddler and the dog literally goes.
Okay, so it's an American pit bull, which is banned in the UK, and an American Staffordshire Terrier. What is that? Let's have a look at American Staffordshire Terrier. I'm not sure what that is, to be honest with you. Let's have a look at it.
I'm talking about them. They look like Great Danes, but they're nastier than Great Danes. Like they're about the same size as a Great Dane.
Yeah. So stupid always wants to be your best friend.
Or I date them, Paul. I either end up with them as friends, or I end up with them in a relationship. Either way. I've learned my lesson, Paul. Thank you.
What else did we have on today? We had a couple of headlines. Oh yes, the sex offender, the Algerian sex offender that was released on an accident. I think we have a video of him being
Arrested, yeah.
arrested or ratted. Yeah, arrested or ratted.
Yeah.
We don't have to put the sound on. We don't have to put the sound on. But this is the breaking news from today. This is really what's really funny about this. His best mate is standing right next to him, and he's like, the police are like, "Are you this fella?" And he's like, "No, no, no, this is not me." And like it's funny. Where's his friend? His friend pops in somewhere. I'm sure his friend is there.
At first, I thought he was translating for him because he was. But what gets me is the newsman went up to him first, and they were like,
Yep.
"Are you,
Yep.
Mr. Sharif?" And he was like, "No." I don't think he gives a name like something like Ryan or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And
This is one
I
for the
think
yeah.
the news have found him. I think Sky News have found him, and they're the ones that have. What I don't understand is if it is him, why is he staying at the police van? You know, because there was no police around him at that point.
Mm.
If it was him, why wouldn't he run?
Yeah. Do you know this looks like it's staged for the cameras? Like, Sky Sports News on the scene, ready to roll. It's staged for the cameras. Like, it's quite obvious. Staged for the cameras there.
They've probably, you know what? I bet Sky have found him, paid him, and said, "Look, listen, you're going to go to prison anyway. You're not going to be able. We'll give you so much money for when you come out and
Yeah.
when you."
I bet someone. I bet like this is staged, like 100% staged. This is a show, and like we said yesterday, your famous phrase at the minute, sleight of hand. Like
Yeah.
What are they up to really? Like are they trying to draw our attention in on this for a second, or are they trying, or were they secretly hoping he'd go out and commit another crime and bloody start more riots or whatever?
If this is to happen, if that was to have happened, I think there would have been all-out chaos. All-out chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Think that's what whoever is stirring this pot and doing this, that's what they want. They want, for want of a better word, and I know I use it all the time, the peasants revolting. They want us up in arms, breaking into Greg's, just absolutely going absolutely crazy, kicking off because we're coming together united, and it's all the Muslims' fault, and it's all the immigrants' faults, and it's all this. It's probably Sadiq Khan's fault as well while we're at it.
By the sounds of it, it sounds like they are severely understaffed, undertrained. I feel like they've got to really look at who's the person that's been responsible for confirming these checks.
Who's to say, right? And I've just had a thought, right? Who's to say it's not somebody after the Group 4 contract? Because Group 4 are the ones that run all the UK prisons and
sabotage. Yep. And if for sure.
It looks stupid. How many billions of pounds must that contract be? It must be billions of pounds because they not only do they run the prison system, they do the prison travel, they do the courts. They Group 4 or it's Serco, isn't it? Serco, sorry.
Yeah.
And they also do the cameras, and they do all these things. So what's to say that it's not another company trying to make them look even stupider than they are, because they are absolutely useless sometimes. Mm-hmm. And they want this contract. What's that? Like I say, you don't know. It was just a thought, because if I wanted that contract, what better way to do it?
Yep. All right, Kitty, on closing, we're going to end with the story, which should be the main headline for me. Samir Zitouni, working on the train, doing his job, put his life on the line to help prevented so many people from being stabbed and much more people from being killed. A Muslim hero, not given his credit online, but we will give it to him. We will give him his praise, not because he's a Muslim, because he's a human being first of all. Because he's a human being first of all, but I'm sure the Muslim community will be very proud of one of their own stepping in one of these situations where where there's so much sort of spotlight on them.
Just changing the subject just slightly quickly. They haven't mentioned, although they've said this guy is a British. They've not. Have you noticed they've not mentioned what religion he was?
Yeah.
That's the thing I was thinking about. The not. I'm not talking about the hero.
The guy, the stabber. Well, that'd be an even that I'm pretty obviously none of this is good. But if it's a Muslim man preventing another Muslim man from committing a crime, even better for their cause. To be fair.
To be fair, it would look absolutely fantastic on this guy's part. I am absolutely disgusted that he's not getting the praise that he should. He's not getting the recognition he should. Because personally, I doff my cap to you, sir, and say thank you. Thank you for helping all these people. Thank you for stepping in. Like I say, there's a guy, a Forest fan. By the way, Ryanair, you're disgusting. He was supposed to fly out on Ryanair to the match last night in Austria. And because of the injuries, he couldn't go. So they tried to get a refund and Ryanair said no. So you're disgusting, Ryanair. So I just thought I'd call them out. So these guys that helped out, there are about 8 of them, aren't there? Between 8 and 10 of them that really tried to take this guy down. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you on behalf of everybody that was on that train, behalf of everybody in the country. I want to say thank you. You are an amazing bunch of people. I am so proud of you, and you should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah. And perfect way to end the show. Thank you all for joining us, guys. I hope you've had a lovely week. Guys, if you have any requests, if you would like to be a guest, send myself or lovely Kitty Hair a message, just put it in the comments or something, and we will contact you and we'll get it set up. Kitty, anything you want to say before we roll?
Just have a great weekend, everybody. Just be safe. Just be safe, please.
Be safe.